This is Priscilla Sullivan broadcasting live from Renaissance News. Let's start with some national news with Lizzie.
Hello, I'm Lizzie Strager with breaking news about the revolutionary printing press that will change the way people think about education forever. No more copying by hand or block printing because a marvelous man by the name of Johann Gutenberg has just created a new invention called the printing press. The printing press is a device that uses movable blocks and graphics to print text. This way is so much more efficient in time and labor than block printing or in handwriting. With hope, Gutenberg's new invention will bring a new age of literacy. Johann Gutenberg began working on his invention in 1436, not realizing in his work the impact it would have across Europe. Gutenberg's original plan was to create a device that could mass-produce indulgences. In 1452, Gutenberg was the first to ever mass-publish a book, the Bible. Gutenberg did not work alone, though. His business partner, Johann Fust, a wealthy lawyer and intelligent entrepreneur, used Gutenberg's debt as a way to claim ownership for Gutenberg's invention. The first printing job, the Bible, has been causing much controversy all over England. Since the Bible is so readily available, more people can access them, and that also means that they are able to interpret the Bible for themselves. The various interpretations individuals took from the Bible has led to the discussion about religious and reformation of new ideas. Gutenberg's invention has been claimed to further not only these new ideas, but has also brought a rebirth in education. The teachings of Roman and Greek cultures have been spreading rapidly through word of mouth, and the printing press enables these lessons to reach an audience never before dreamed of. Without the printing press, this newscast would not have been seen by viewers such as yourselves. So, kudos to Johann Gutenberg for bringing new light to literacy and current event reporting. That'll be all. Over to Mackie Mac, aka Mackenzie Robertson, with more interesting news.
Thanks, Liz. It is raining on the location of King Henry III's wedding day. You should feel lucky that you were not the chosen one. After King Henry VIII's sixth wedding, he is officially married to Catherine Parr in July 1543. She was a respectable and well-educated woman, but hopefully her future and fate does not follow the path like the rest of them. It seems to be, ladies and gentlemen, that marrying King Henry is a curse, and it never ends well. For example, all of Henry's past wives were led to unfortunate events. His first wife was Catherine of Aragon. She failed to give King Henry VIII a son. This was bad because she failed to produce a male heir. Their marriage was annulled. The next lady was Anne Boleyn. She became pregnant by Henry, and they married at once. The baby was born and was a big disappointment because it was a girl. He accused Anne of adultery, incest, treason, and witchcraft after the letdown. She was then beheaded, and Henry's second marriage was over. The lady-in-waiting of Anne Boleyn was Jane Seymour, who was the next lucky gal. She was pregnant already and, like usual, was then married to King Henry VIII. Jane gave birth to Edward VI, but died 12 days later from the fever. Henry was devastated. The third marriage was gone. Later, after 2 years, was Anne of Cleves, who was a Protestant German princess. He saw a portrait of her and demanded the wedding. Once she arrived, he went to go see his young bride. She turned out to look completely different than the portrait, and he called her a horse. He would not marry Anne of Cleves because she was ugly and again had another annulment. Catherine Howard was the fifth wife. While King Henry and her were married, she was having an affair with Thomas Culpeper. Catherine Howard was accused and later confessed to the affair. She was then beheaded as well. This then led to his sixth previous marriage with Catherine Parr. For some good advice, ladies, stay away and out of view from King Henry VIII. And I give all my luck to Catherine Parr. And now to Priscilla with a message from our sponsors.
Thanks, Mackenzie. Come to the Globe Theatre for a great play in comedy, tragedy, or history. Playwrights such as William Shakespeare not only perform here, but produce shows here as well. Come for a great time and witness the tragic love story of Romeo and Juliet or the famous comedy A Midsummer Night's Dream. Not sure which play is being performed? Just look at the flags. Different colored flags are hung outside the Globe indicating the themes of plays which are to be performed. A black flag indicates a tragedy, a white flag indicates a comedy, and a red flag indicates history. Come see for yourself. Now back to Julie with the news.
Thanks, Priscilla. Breaking news from the Byzantine Empire. Constantinople was conquered by the Ottomans today, May 29, 1453. The capital of the Byzantine Empire, Constantinople, was captured by the Ottoman Turks today. After almost 2 months of siege, Sultan Mehmed II led the Turks to victory. Several fleets have attempted to capture the city, but all have failed. The city's location is what draws in attackers because it has direct control of a water source for trade. The siege began when the first cannon was fired on April 9th. Slowly throughout April and May, the Muslims continued to attack Constantinople. Cannons were fired, making cracks and holes in the large walls surrounding the city. But this was not enough. The Sultan knew he had to attack from inside. This morning, the city of Constantinople was woken at dawn by an attack. Constantinople lies on a channel called the Gold Channel. The channel is blocked by a large chain so no ships can enter. Mehmed led his troops overland last night, carrying their ships above their heads. They released their ships in the harbor and attacked from the inside early this morning. As soon as the Sultan entered his newly conquered territory, he entered the first church he saw and declared it a mosque. Mehmed has plans of building schools and other buildings and moving Muslims to Constantinople immediately. Now to Emma with more international news.
Thanks, Julie. The Jesuits are now back from their trip to China, where they had the hopes to spread Christianity and Western learning, especially in the fields of science. The Jesuits that had made the trip were well educated and were probably the most influential and significant of our time. They had great organizing skills which helped establish many Christian communities throughout China. They knew Western knowledge, culture, and literature very well. The first attempt made to reach China by St. Francis Xavier, who ended up dying on an island in China, was not a success. He died before being able to reach the mainland. But now, after 3 decades, we have made our way. This group was led by many figures, such as the conspicuous Italian Matteo Ricci and Adam Shaw von Bell. This group ultimately focused on teaching Western mathematics, astronomy, science, and visual arts to the imperial court. They had worked on translating and interpreting while in the land of China. They learned the language of the people and converted people of high rank to Christianity. Also, in order to impress the elite class, the men translated the work of Galileo into Chinese, which is known as a very important piece in this era. It was discovered that the classic Chinese literature had the same core values in Christianity, similar to those of the Greek and Roman that we praise greatly. During the trip, intercultural and theological dialogue was carried on with Chinese scholars, particularly those of Confucianism. At the end of the trip, they had succeeded in converting over 200,000 Chinese to Christianity. We have taught and influenced the people of China so greatly that they are hoping to put it into use while transforming their culture. But not only did they leave China with Western knowledge and Christianity, they have also brought back Chinese teaching to us here in the West, which will be preserved in the Vatican. The Society of Jesus has once again impressed us all.
Thanks, Emma. Breaking news about William Shakespeare. One of the greatest writers of all time passed away this morning, April 23rd, of an unknown cause in London. He was born on April 23rd as well, 1564, in Stratford-upon-Avon, to mother Mary Arden and father John Shakespeare. Shakespeare married Anne Hathaway and had 3 children with her, one of which died at the age of 11, most likely from the plague. Shakespeare's funeral will be held in London on April 25th. Shakespeare is remembered for his unforgettable plays. He wrote 154 sonnets and 37 plays. He wrote comedies, tragedies, and histories. Many people may know his memorable play Romeo and Juliet. This is only one in 37 amazing scripts that were turned into plays and performed at the Globe Theatre. Shakespeare has had a large impact on the growing arts in Europe, and he will most likely influence writers for centuries to come.
Rest in peace, William Shakespeare, greatest playwright of all time. Thank you for listening to Renaissance News. See you next time.